Well, it has been a heck of a day here in Northeast Ohio. Hopefully, everybody is staying warm, staying out of the snow. Maybe you got some stretches in. Maybe your back's hurting a little bit from some shoveling. I know I got a little more
Minus.
I got a little more to shovel after this show is done. Some snow drifts decided to reappear on my driveway. So
Hate those drifts, man.
dude, there were drifts that were above my knees, and I'm 6 feet tall. There were that like this morning when I was trying to help Jana my wife get out of the house and out of the driveway to get to work. Of course, I had planned to actually wake up earlier and do that so she could get out on time. I know I woke up at the right time to get up early, and then the next thing I knew, she was waking me up saying, "Hey, it's a quarter." She was just getting ready, so I had to rush out there, and it is not snow drifts are not something you can rush with shoveling at all. So hopefully everybody's staying safe out there. Definitely the weather is something. This is the voice of the land. We are partner with LPV Productions. We are brought to you by Greeny Sports Cards. I gotta mention them. Gotta give them a huge shout out. I don't know. I'll take responsibility. I didn't see a write up or anything like that for the Crunch game this past Saturday, but I did not do the live read for them. That is on me. You guys can look at me. Don't look at Voice of Land. Don't look at the Crunch. Look at me specifically. I am sorry. You guys know. If I saw something, I would say it, but it's still my fault. So I apologize to Steve and Jeremy and everybody over there at Greeny Sports Cards. But they always have big sports card shows. It is such a big thing. I mean, even at the station now, a couple of our shows are doing like card opening segments. So it's always been big, but it feels like it's stretching more into the mainstream, which is really good to see. And Greeny's is at the forefront of that at all times. greenysportscards.com, greenysportscards.com. We'll have giveaways with them, I'm sure, as long as they don't get too mad that I didn't do the live read this past Saturday. I swear on the 24th, I will have the live read ready to go, but thank you to Greeny Sports Cards. We're going to get into, of course, Browns coaching search and the Cavs. It's kind of really the two big things that are going on outside of Ohio State with their transfer portal and the moves coming in. Our Ohio State conversation is going to center around one of the big time recruits that's coming in with this the next class, that next big time linebacker, as everybody would think he can be. And I know he's going to put in the work for it. Cincere Johnson out of Glenville High School. He is going to join us at 6:30 tonight. We're going to talk about his journey choosing Ohio State. And I don't know how much he's allowed to say, Ryan, but I would love to hear from his experience, like in this new era of recruitment with NIL and all of that, a part of it, just like what that's like in that experience, just kind of from his perspective. So we'll talk about all of that. Yeah. So just want to give a couple shout outs at the start. First, I got to get something off my chest real quick. Driving home from downtown. Look, I love all of our truck drivers, everybody that's got to, work outside. This is not truck drivers. This isn't a company. No names, please. But there was one that I don't know if he was late for a delivery or what, but I was in a lane. I was going at the speed, matching the speed of the other traffic coming home. Roads a little bit better coming home than they were getting there, but still there were some slick spots. You can kind of feel the tire spin a little bit. And out of nowhere, this semi truck just comes up, and I dead serious when I say, looking in my rearview mirror, Ryan, I couldn't even see his headlights.
Man.
But I could just see like around me because the street lights weren't on. He was flashing his lights for me to get out of his way, but there was like no way for me to get out of his way. And like he just like stayed there for a long time, and there was like room on one side and room on the other. The lanes were clear enough, and he just like stayed there and was like right there. And then all of a sudden drives past me and flips me the bird and all of that. And look, karma is a real thing because I got to the exit he got off of on the shoreway at the same time he did. So, look, everybody be careful out there. Just a PSA, man. Just be careful out there, please.
Yeah, roads are crazy, and road rage in general, man. Like I learned, recently, not recently, a couple years ago, like it's not worth it. Like, you see all the time people end up getting hurt because of dumb things they do on the road or a finger. So just drive safe and don't be dumb, man. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, don't be dumb. That's for sure. You kind of mentioned you kind of took some notes on it. We had a guest last week, Corbin Williams, who's director of marketing and does the social media and everything for the Crunch, and they had their home opener, and it was good to see 2,400 people in that arena. I hope the number grows, and it's not, sometimes some of our teams here, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, you know how big of a baseball fan I am, but the Guardians, you get that big home opener crowd, and the next night there's like, you go from 39,000 to 8,000 the next night, because it's during the school year, during school nights, all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping to see that number go up, because I don't know if you saw, Ryan, but there were people posting like TikToks and reels and all that stuff that have never watched soccer before, and they were into it and like telling people to get out to these games. And I think that'll be the biggest word of promotion for this team.
Yeah, I mean, if this season is anything like last game was awesome, man. It was crazy. I mean, the red card fiasco in the fourth period, freaking awesome. Even my wife was glued to the screen, wondering what the hell was going on, man. It was crazy, so much fun. What a great game. I mean, Amir Surjovic, it looks like the best player in the league. Controlled the game from start to finish. Like you said, the Wolfstein Center. 2,700 people were in there, you said? Or 20, how many?
2,400 people were in there. And if you're looking to like fill the lower bowl, I think that's about 5,000 to 6,000 people. So if they can fill that lower bowl, which is the main piece that they're selling, I mean, it was loud with 2,400. So imagine just filling that lower bowl with everybody kind of right there, sitting like right over the field. That place is going to be electric. And we could like try to start to see the scenes of, if you go on YouTube and find Cleveland Crunch highlights from playoffs, and I think there was a game they won in double OT, a championship they won in double OT back in the 90s, and like the crowd in the arena was just immaculate. Yeah, so we can get those vibes going again. We could really build something here in the city.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it already looked like it was like first game, home game was this past week at the 10th, right? I mean, it looked like a real home field advantage already. I mean, the crowd was loud, they were engaged. It just looks like it's going to be a big advantage moving forward. So shout out to them for moving to the Wolfstein Center, knowing that they needed a bigger venue to hold all of their fans, and it's going to be soon enough where they're going to be packed house. Especially they're the most consistent team in Cleveland right now. Yes, albeit they're not one of the three major sports teams, but consistent winning in Cleveland is something that fans are yearning for, and we have it now at the Wolfstein Center. So yeah, definitely go check that out, man. It's been crazy. The last game was awesome.
And there's gonna be some other big time matchups coming. I know they won 10-1, and people think, do they even have competition? They do. And if you saw the fight break out in this last one, I mean, there's a real rivalry there with Chicago. It's just, the Crunch are just on that level, and they're in midseason form very early. But I mean, you go to a team you haven't seen yet, Bridge City in the city of Pittsburgh. That rivalry between the two cities continues. They go there this weekend.
Yeah, Saturday.
And then you bring a team from the state up north down for the 24th. That's the next home game. TheClevelandCrunch.com. Excuse me. That's where you can get your tickets. It's through Ticketmaster, but there's a link. The easiest way I tell people is just go to TheClevelandCrunch.com. Like if I can say go to Ticketmaster and look up. You got to go search for the teams, and sometimes things pop up, sometimes they don't. The direct link is right there, TheClevelandCrunch.com. So shout out to those guys. It is an absolute atmosphere. Aiden Bozak was the man of the match, and I mean he was doing the dirty work. He was setting guys up, and then he had, I know that the reel is out there, the highlight is out there. I haven't seen many shots come off a foot harder than that. I don't know. People may watch lacrosse, Ryan. They see like the skills competitions, like who can have the hardest shot coming out in lacrosse. Like I would have loved to attract the miles per hour or like power on that shot, because it went into the goal, and there's covered up seats that will come out for the basketball games. It like hit those seats and came back onto the field because he just hit it so hard. So shout out to those guys. It is an absolute atmosphere. Aiden Bozak was the man of the match, and I mean he was doing the dirty work. He was setting guys up, and then he had, I know that the reel is out there, the highlight is out there. I haven't seen many shots harder come off a foot harder than that. I don't know. People may watch lacrosse, Ryan. They see like the skills competitions, like who can have the hardest shot coming out in lacrosse. Like I would have loved to attract the miles per hour or like power on that shot, because it went into the goal, and there's like covered up seats and came back onto the field because he just hit it so hard. So
I mean, this whole team, dude, is crazy. I mean, Soljovic, like I said, is the best player in the league. I mean, you got Gabriel Paywu, who's legit becoming a star. I mean, he was first team all-league last year, picked up right where he left off. I mean, his size and speed make him one of the toughest matchups in the MLIS, man. He's the perfect complement to Soljovic. David Jordan, Omar Najjar, and Michael Presby, all are playing with more chemistry. Mario Musa continues to be one of the top keepers in the league. This team is the best team in the MLIS, and they're right in the heart of Cleveland, guys.
It's
amazing.
It doesn't get much better. And I mean, Corbin told us, Landon Kuhn, the rookie, and Tomasz Nagy, the other rookie. I mean, these guys just come in and immediately make an impact, even though you got grizzled veterans out there, all of that. And now they're giving out a warrior of the match. It's the childhood cancer. They're trying to bring awareness to childhood cancer as well by doing this, but there's a warrior of the match, the one that's maybe not fill up the stat sheet, but is going to give everything that they got. And that was Omar Najjar. But there was so many guys that could have been up for that award after this game. So, just consider it. And if you need a little bit more enticing, watch the game, the next one coming up that we'll have, or even watch the one this weekend. MLIS Pro TV is where to watch all of these games in this league, their YouTube channel. So that game will be live streamed from Pittsburgh this weekend. You can see exactly what the action's like. And then you can catch the home games, same place, but I mean, Rock Entertainment's jumped on, and WOBL, the radio in Lorraine County, and WKYC, Channel 3, the NBC affiliate here in town, their WKYC Plus app, they're streaming the games live too. So many options to catch them, but the best place to go when they're at home is to go to the Wolfson Center. So definitely shout out.
Yeah. Actually, in the game.
Yes. Yeah. So shout out to the Rashido family, Ryan Ruiz, Corbin, the entire organization, Coach Antonio Manfoot, and everybody on that team. I love those guys. I know I got to get out to some practices, but they also practice on Thursday. So, we're kind of doing the show,
Sure.
Maybe take the show out there one day.
Let's go. I'm down, dude. Yeah, I mean, guys, for those who aren't super soccer fans, I'm not, but Kevin is the voice of the Crunch. So last year I started watching him, and I'm telling you, it's fun. It's electric. It's like arena football. There's no out of bounds other than when the ball goes in the stand. So if it hit, you can kick it off the wall. There's strategy and geometry. It's physical. Go watch the last game, YouTube, fourth period. I think it was like 11 minutes to go. I'm not saying they're probably going to do this every night, but kind of a fight breaking out and a lot of red cards and excitement, and it's just a lot of fun, guys. I'm a fan now. I'm a big fan, and I mean,
guys bleeding,
give them
guys getting sent off with red cards.
It's pretty sweet.
And then somehow going back to a locker room and still find their way back to the bench and then starting things up again. It was definitely intense. Something else that's intense for some people. Others are just kind of waiting for that shoe to drop, and that is the coaching search here in town, Ryan. And I know we both have talked about it a little bit. It feels like it's trending towards young offensive guy, if not Jim Schwartz, to then pair with him. People so easily say that, and it came out of my mouth too easily, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
He interviewed for the head coaching job, and then you're going to bring in a 35-year-old, and because they're this great offensive mind, and they're they're scheduled or projected to be a head coach in a year or two. So why wait when you may not have the opportunity to get them, all those types of things. But then you're going to keep him at defensive coordinator when you were trying to get him as head coach. If he's cool with it, great. But people are too easily saying that he would be just he would immediately just stick around for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only way this dude sticks around, first off, if they hire a defensive head coach, a defensive-minded head coach, Jim Schwartz is gone. He's gone.
Yes.
I mean, if they hire a guy with some pedigree to the name, Mike Tomlin, I guess they would have to trade for him now, I guess, because he resigned. And Harbaugh's gone. So the big guy, the big names are gone. But, there's Brad Flores, there's Mike McDaniel, there's Mike McCarthy. I don't know, man. I at this point, I'm to the point where I just want Jim Schwartz as the head coach. I think. I think he's got the pedigree. He's got the experience. Yes, it didn't work out, but that was for the Lions a long time ago. I mean, he's got an elite defensive mind. He had this defense despite everything else going around, all the distractions, the woes in the offense, the uncertainty of the head coach and the general manager. He still had this defense as a Super Bowl caliber defense. Not to mention he is a Super Bowl champion with the Eagles as the defensive coordinator in 2018. So he has, I don't know, man. He's in our building, and if we hire somebody else, Chris Shula, Jesse Minter, any of these other guys, especially defensive minded defensive coordinators, defensive minded coaches, he's gone, and I don't want him to be gone. I want to retain him. I find it relatively unrealistic to keep him around actually after, like you said, after he has already interviewed for the Browns head coaching position as a defensive coordinator, even if they bring in a young guy, Clint Kubiak, I don't know, Matt Nagy. There's a lot of different names out there, but for me right now, Harbaugh was my number one. Tomlin is my number two, and Tomlin seems unattainable unless you trade for him. And I'm not trading for Tomlin. And Pittsburgh wouldn't do that anyway.
According to the reporter that's in that room very regularly on ESPN, Brooke Pryor, who does a great job covering the NFL and specifically the Steelers. I know she was on. Again, not to overly promote, but I'm very open. At least I'm open about it now. I work at ESPN Cleveland. We have the Browns Daily Show, Cleveland Browns Daily. Yeah. Bo Bishop, Nathan Zagura. Now it was Bo and Gibbs today, and Bo talked to Brooke Pryor, and she said he asked her flat out, and kind of paraphrasing here, will he ever coach again? And she said basically, quote, I don't know. So he's definitely not coaching this year. So if anybody wanted to trade for him, he's not into that this year. I could see him going to TV unless someone convinces him, never say never to anything. I feel like he's kind of way off in the distance. I understand the John Harbaugh stuff. I never thought he was coming here, so I never tried to sink in or get hooked by it. The reports and things, of course, people posting the clips of Jim and John talking about their time growing up as with Browns fans and their family and being around this area and all that kind of stuff. But that's not always enough. I mean, he's going to New York. He's going to the NFC. So you're not play. We don't think we play the NFC East next year. I think it's the NFC South is our NFC opponents next year. I'm pretty sure we got to play Baker, but I think we go to Tampa to play Baker next year. So you're not going to see him next year. You're not seeing him twice a year. You're not even seeing him once a year until you get back around in that cycle to face the Giants. So Jim Schwartz is kind of that name that's just stuck out to me because you bring in another defensive mind, and most of them are running different systems. Then you're switching systems, and then you gotta have the right personnel for it. You got to put Myles Garrett in a whole different spot, at least a starting spot. And I know everybody says the 4-3 and the 3-4 are kind of intermixed now. I hear people say that, and then yet when I see teams change from a 4-3 to a 3-4 or a 3-4 to a 4-3 base defense, they don't play as well because you don't have the right personnel. You put guys in different spots. Even if it goes so much deeper than just I can put Myles Garrett on the outside part of the line or move him inside. When he is inside in the 3-4 versus this Jim Schwartz attack defense 4-3 base, if he goes inside where defensive tackle usually is, his responsibility probably changes and he might drop back more often than he's allowed to attack over top of the center. So, I would think any coach would give him the freedom, but I mean, I don't think that they are mandating that the coach has to keep on Jim Schwartz, but you have something established there that can't leave the building. And the best way to make sure it doesn't leave the building, make him the head coach. And maybe like a Nate Shieldhouse, who is a a pass game coordinator right now. Like he's not the offensive coordinator. He's not calling the plays, but he's under. I think he's with the Rams. Him and Mike LaFleur are all under Sean McVay. Like people think that he's going to be the next big thing. Well, the next logical step for him in his development would actually be offensive coordinator. So
right.
Jim Schwartz is head coach, and then you have one of his assistants that he really loves. The one guy I really love on that defensive staff, the linebacker coach, man, when he talks on the Browns, like when he, why am I blanking on his name? Because they talk about him all the time. Yeah, Tarver, dude. He opens his mouth and you feel like you want to run through a wall. Like,
yeah.
You know, Schwartz up to the head coach, even if he's calling it, like that staff is still the same. They're pushing the same narrative as a coordinator. Then you bring in the young offensive mind just to be the offensive coordinator. That's their only focus, and they can build their resume that way.
Yeah.
Long-winded, but that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's going to be a long process. We're probably not going to get the guy that we want. It's probably going to be some offensive coordinator or some, passing game specialist or someone, it's not going to be a big name because although, it is one of 32 head coaching jobs in the NFL, you can see the history, since, 99 of what this team has been and who wants to sign up for that other than, the guarantee of a contract of money. Other than that, you're looking to be out within 1 to, I guess, 6 years, but 1 to 3 years most likely. So
yeah. It's it's tough. I don't know. I know it's going to take a while, and this is on Andrew Berry now.
I would consider Mike Daniel, but
McDaniels.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
McDaniels. Yeah.
I don't.
Just because he was here, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. He'd have to prove me wrong that he can't hold guys accountable, because that's what this team needs, and that's what that's what was being the leash was being let go of there in Miami between him and players and being able to hold guys accountable like that. That wasn't there, so it gives me pause. I'm not gonna be like upset about it and screaming at the rooftop like a lot of people say that they're going to, because I think that there is something there, but you're going from Miami, who's are they really a stable organization, to another organization that's not really, like, can that really turn around with an organization that's not really stable? I don't know, but it's on Barry, man. Like, he's making the choice, and if it is, it's most likely a name that, yes, we're hearing now, but never heard of outside of this coaching search before. You have to pick the right guy that can be. Right. I know you got other thoughts. One thing I really hate that like grinds my gears is people saying like, "Oh, we got to find the next Sean McVay." Well,
good luck.
That was found when people weren't saying we have to find the next Sean McVay. Like, history can repeat itself, but now like there is the example, so it's not like you're taking them out of the blue. Like, now you're just mimicking, and the best form of flattery is imitation, and that's what the NFL is. But do I trust them to be able to find that guy? No.
Yeah, it's just going off of the coaching tree, I think. But even so, like Zach Taylor, iffy. I don't know. Matt LaFleur, also iffy. Brandon Staley got fired from the Chargers. Jed Fish is with Washington right now. Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings. They're not all super, super successful. Raheem Morris. So Liam Cohen looks like probably maybe the top one right now, but the next man in line is Chris Shula. So if they want to go, maybe not the innovative, finding the new guy like McVay, but off the tree, Chris Shula of the MCC is obviously the guy next in line. So,
and everybody wants to tout Liam Cohen and what Grant Udinski is doing there as the offensive coordinator, which he's not actually even calling the plays. But and I'm not trying to take away from Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that's 1 year. Like, if you're going to be that next Sean McVay, that name that people didn't know about and had a quick rise in the NFL ranks and were young, you have to do it for multiple years in a row. That's what Sean McVay did. Even if there's a rough year mixed in there, there's got to be more good than there is bad. So 1 year flash in the pan, that's not what we're looking for. I'm not saying that Liam Cohen is a flash in the pan.
Sure.
But we don't have any more years of him coaching down in Jacksonville to know that that they got it fully right down there. Yeah, I would love like one great year, but I'm done with the magical year, the dream season. The biggest dream season we had, we didn't even make the playoffs. So, and then we went back down into the doldrum. So you have to make sure it's someone that can ascend, but also sustain after.
Yeah, and that's the question. I mean, the offensive coordinator with the Buccaneers became successful and then got a chance and looked successful again. I'm not ready to, knight him as, the best, not super great, but I mean, last few years he's shown success. The Jaguars were really impressive. Actually, really upset me because we have their pick. I'll give him his flowers for sure. I'm not saying he's, the next up and coming for sure, but he's shown some wonderful things lately.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find somebody like that. Yeah. And that's we gotta get lucky with that again. I would love to, if we go after Clint Kubiak, who's had success with Seattle, and all of a sudden, this year with Jackson Smith and Jigba, he gets, Jerry Jeudy on track next year as our head coach, or if we pick Carnell Tate or something and we get rolling. I mean, I would love that as well. There's a lot of scenarios we have. It's going to be a long off season for Browns fans. So. Yeah,
it's 9 months in itself, and it's going to feel like 9 years.
Yeah, we have 99 days until the NFL draft, too. So seems like not that long, but there's going to be a ton of stuff that happens in between there.
Yeah, and silly season is going to filter in and out the entire time. Before we bring on our guest of the night, I'm not sure if he's in or not just yet. But, the Cavs, man, the only thing I could do last night was have fun with it because they're 23-19. And if people actually understood my tweet, if you're a big Disney fan or a Pixar fan with, anytime there was a possible contamination of humans in the monster world, it was called 23-19. Like, they have a great game like they did last night, and they look like they should. Mm-hmm. I know Darius got hurt, but people are saying wake up and Darius Garland's hurt. Like that's just a given that he's going to be hurt. The dude fell on his foot as he's trying to get a floor burn and go for the ball. Like is the dude unlucky? Sure. But I'm not here to kill everybody that gets hurt. Like that's just, it sucks, but he's going for the ball and dude falls on his foot.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. The best ability is availability, though. And for somebody that's injury prone who has a max contract, we expect him to be on the floor regardless. Durability is clearly an issue. And I think that's what fans are more concerned about than, him being out today. It's how long is he going to be out? Is this going to, create another injury? We got the playoffs coming up. If, we even are in the play-in tournament at this point, I don't know. But nonetheless, we need Darius Garland on that court. Just for chemistry, for sustainability, he needs to get the reps, or else he's going to crap the bed again in the second round of the playoffs. So I'm on that side. I feel bad for him. Yes, he's hurt, but dude just needs to stop getting hurt. And it's not necessarily his fault, but he's a product of that, and that's all we can go off of. So
yeah, and they do need him available, but it's just this team shows signs that they are the team that they're supposed to be.
Sure.
And you have this probably one of your best wins against the Timberwolves coming off that loss to them. And you had that terrible third quarter in Minnesota. You come back, you look like you're supposed to. You're on Prime Video. You're on national television. And then you crap the bed against the Utah Jazz, who had lost by 55. And then you go right back to Philadelphia in the first of the two games. And you just absolutely rickroll them out of their own building.
Right.
A team that's supposed to be also in contention there in the Eastern Conference. They all keep saying we have to look at each other. We have to, it's a mental thing. We got to, do it for 48 minutes now. And it's January. It's time to lock in. Don't just tell me. It's hard and it's not hard at the same time to give effort consistently. The shots may not fall all the time. You might get blown out because you can't hit a shot. But I better see that same effort so that those games against the Utah Jazz are the rarity and not the norm that we have seen this season. That's what's made it so frustrating. And yet there's so much time left to climb. And there's like 3 games between the number 2 and the number 7. Basically in the Eastern Conference, like a good win streak could get you right back up to the top and people are feeling good. But guess what? You got to face Philadelphia again tomorrow night. And you got OKC, the defending champions, coming in on MLK Day for a matinee at 2:30. Like, we better see who's ever on that floor. I'm not saying you have to win all these games, but you got to show something that the tide is actually turning and we're not just flash in the pan one night, crap the other night. Flash in the pan, crap. I don't want to go back and forth like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you hit on the head. Cavs, they're wildly inconsistent this year. I mean, like you said, they look dominant one night and then fall flat the next. I wholeheartedly believe that it's because of injuries. I think they've definitely wrecked their continuity. Darius Garland again, Evan Mobley's been out, Max Strus, Sam Merrill. Others have all missed chunks of time. Donovan Mitchell is carrying this offense. I think he's playing at an MVP adjacent level. I doubt he'll get it. He's keeping them afloat. Kenny Atkinson's still trying to figure out rotations. Consistent lineup changes that made it hard to build rhythm too. So I don't know. Mitchell's having one of the best scoring seasons of his career. He's doing more playmaking than ever. Assists are up. He's initiating more offense with Garland out, and now that he's out again, it's probably he's just going to be the focal point again, and that's a problem. The usage of Donovan Mitchell, when expectations were that he was going to be able to take breaks once in a while, but he can't. He's averaging 33.8 minutes a game. That's the highest on the team, and it's not looking like it's going to get any better. So it's just really not good. And real quick, since we do have our guest in, by the way.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I I text him. So cool. Cincere, we're going to get Cincere Johnson on here in just a second. But going off of that, to me, the last thing on the Cavs, to me, there is a difference between the usage of Donovan Mitchell when he is the one that is only handling the ball and he handles it for all 24 seconds of the shot clock and tries to get some crazy shot off, versus what I saw last night. Even though he went on a stretch in the third quarter of scoring a lot of points, I saw the ball movement and it started with him and somehow worked its way back around to him. His defender somehow didn't stay with him, and he's got a wide open 3 like several times in that quarter. So even though he is the main offensive output, like the ball is still moving and it's like guys are still getting involved. So then if he does have 2 guys stay with him, then as that ball filters around, that next guy knows, hey, like this extra pass to Donovan's not going to work. Let's stop it here. Let's use that energy. Let's take that shot. Like that's that adjustment that they need to make. So I think that's the difference. There's sometimes where I think people criticize Donovan doing too much. That's when it's not right because the team is actually doing what they should on offense.
I'm not criticizing him necessarily. I'm just saying
not him. I'm just saying like yes. Yeah, it's definitely an issue.
I would love for him to have 25 minutes a game and be fully rested in it for it to matter in the playoffs compared to 33.8, him be tired, have everyone else injured, and he's just going to have to try to carry it through the playoffs. So
yeah, it's when it becomes stanky, like the old stanky leg offense where it's only him for like 20 of the 24 seconds. When he gives up the ball and somehow still gets it back within the 24 seconds and the ball's got energy and makes a shot, and he's the one that's leading the points at the end of the night, I'm okay with that aspect of Donovan dominating. But someone that could dominate out there and has dominated at least on the high school gridiron and is looking to take that to the next level at Ohio State University, that is Cincere Johnson, who is from Glenville. He will be going to Ohio State next season, and he joins us right now as we're in the midst of recruitment and transfer portals and all that. Cincere, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We appreciate it, and definitely big Ohio State fans and big fan of yours. We've been following
Thank
you
for having me
this season.
Yes, sir. And actually, I'm down here now. I early enrolled. So
okay.
I've been down here for almost the whole month.
Okay.
I done got some facial hair growing in.
There you go. Look at you, man. How is the transition going for you?
It's going smooth. My whole collective. My family. We call it my village. They kind of prepare me, to come down here. Like Glenville, my father, my mom, Coach Gann. Everybody have prepared me to make the transition just by allowing me to work hard and pushing me to my limits, and my parents just mentally getting me ready. So just transitioning was good, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a battle. So I'm ready. Just being down for a month, getting acclimated to it. I love it. So there's no other place I wouldn't be. Columbus is amazing. One thing though, I did not know you have to walk to your classes outside in college. I never knew that. Like I never knew. I ain't gonna lie. So it's
cold.
Yeah.
cold.
Hey,
And
that was the advantage of going to Cleveland State was that there's no football team. We say that we're undefeated in football since 1964, but there's what they call an interlink, basically like a hallway that connects all the buildings. So during the winter, you never have to go outside to go near buildings. That was the one thing I didn't miss.
And when I tell you, there's so many people at Ohio State. You trying to park to get to class. So, it's different gates. You got B gates, C gates. The athletes and stuff, we got C gates. This class is all the way over here. C gate parking all the way over here. You gotta walk a good 10 minutes to get to class every day. It just be like that was something I won't prepare for.
Gotta get yourself a scooter or something, bro.
Yeah, but I'm getting used to it. Man, if I paid a parking pass, I ain't getting no scooter.
There you go. I hear you there.
That's right. It's your money's worth, man.
But hey, I love it, man. I love it. The people down here are great. Just everybody welcomed me and all my other guys in the class with just open arms. This is it's been a great journey for me. God have just blessed me so much, and it's just every day I just pray before I go to bed. Pray when I wake up to just allow Him to bless me with the strength to keep going, because I have a brother that played in college, and he tell me all the stories, like how hard it gets, how easy it gets, the ups and downs, and I just know you have to have faith to just fall back on, because at some point it's gonna get hard. You're gonna get to questioning yourself. But if my goal is to play as a freshman, to obviously win academic All-American freshman, like these different things, I need something to fall back on, which is family, friends, and faith. Something Coach Day always talks about. So it's definitely been a big transition, and I'm excited for the upcoming moments to come.
Yeah. Cincere, your senior ends with the state championship and, national awards as well. I mean, let's go through this. USA Today National Defensive Player of the Year, All USA National Football Team Defensive Player of the Year, 2025 Max Reps Ohio High School Football Player of the Year, two-time All-Ohio Defensive Player of the Year, selected for the 2026 Under Armour America game. I mean, that's insane, man.
Yes, sir.
With all these awards, with the state championships, when you look back at this season specifically, what moment meant the most to you personally?
It's two. So for me, was the first game of the season, because coming into that year we lost, and I faced a shoulder injury, I had a surgery, and just coming into that season, I feel like everything was on my shoulders. The team, the standard of the team. Coach Gann was looking at me to be a leader, and which I was. I embodied, all of that stuff. But the first game going into that type of environment with my brothers, and I know like this can possibly be good or bad, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a winner and it's going to be a loser. So just, obviously coming off the season we had prior to that, everything was just, I feel like it was on me. And going into that game, we all played great and came off victorious. It was almost like a relief. Like, I know how our season is going to go, because the group of guys, the team that we have, are determined to get back for what happened last year. So that right there was a great moment for me. And also my father, which was incarcerated my junior year, that was his first time in a long time to see me play. But when my dad got incarcerated, I wasn't the big time recruit guy. Obviously everybody was from Cincere in Arville, freshman, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got incarcerated, I blew up. And that was his first time really seeing me get to play, and how people could track towards me, and the just the power that I have and how I play my style. So he My dad had cried on the sideline that game, so it was just beautiful to play that and then beat Massillon. Like, those my guys, but just working out with them in the off season, like different training, they talking mess, and we just coming into their house and just whoop them. Like,
Right.
I don't care nobody say Glenville putting up 30-some plus points, and then I get a kickoff, a field goal return, set the game up, we win. It was just, the whole story to me was just beautiful. And then obviously holding up that trophy because, we already said that. I always said with my guys, we can't be the people that says, oh, they needed X, Y, Z to win. Obviously, we had Bryce West when we won. We had my brother. We had Arvell. We had Demarion Witten. We had a lot of top guys when we won states. And the year we lost, everybody like they're frauds and they need X, Y, and Z. So when we won, nobody could say anything. And then just the challenges that we faced along the way just made it so much more powerful, and it made us just so much more together. Like, I called a player-led meeting the night before the game, and when I say everybody on the team cried, everybody, myself included, to the freshmen, to the guys, even on game day, we cried because we didn't shed tears, we didn't shed blood, we didn't yell at each other, argued, and then coming to see that this journey is over with each other was just emotional for me because I've didn't play. Like, my brother was on the team, my twin brother. We don't look the same, but yeah, I played with him and my older brother, and it's so surreal because I call my whole team my brothers. So me losing I'm not going to play with my real brothers never again. And then my brothers that I've met on the gridiron that have turned into my real life brothers, I would never be able to play with because we're going on two different paths.
Right.
And just seeing them, just seeing the seniors that didn't have a big time scholarship cry when we held up the trophy, seeing Gann cry because we've known him since we was kids, like babies. So we call him dad. Just seeing that, we're just seeing everybody just rejoice with us that we accomplished something so big. I started crying too because it was just like, this is over with. Everybody talks about how fast high school goes, how the people you meet in high school are gonna be friends for life, and it's real. I will never forget these guys ever. And then, even when I got down here, I sent them a long text and I said, "Thank y'all. Like, I love y'all. Y'all put me in this position. Obviously, my parents, my family, God, but y'all put me in this position because the days I was slacking, y'all held me accountable. The days I didn't want to come to practice, I came to practice for y'all. The days it got rough, we played, we fought. Like, it's a different type of feeling when you look your brother in the eye and they tell you, we not giving up, we about to win. The time the games came down to the line, like when I returned the field goal against Massillon, the whole defense, God's glory, we gonna get this. Hey, Sarah, I got you, we gonna get this. They go block it, I return it. When we played Graydon Kinsley and I got the forced fumbles and I'm like, when I got the stop on third down, they're like, Cincere gonna make a play. Like, just seeing that, just feeling the brotherhood and feeling them looking. When we played Lake Catholic, we won 6-12. They scored the drive, they threw a pick. They said, we not fighting, we not giving up. Like, just seeing your brothers just hold you accountable. And then you realize, like, these are people you've known since you was, mind you, I played with these guys since I was young, since I was 10, 11, 12. I've played or faced these guys. And it's just like seeing us going on different paths all around the world. It was very emotional. And that was just a beautiful moment to know I left Glenville with my own legacy written, with my name forever going to be remembered, and something that I gave to my brothers that nobody will ever can take away from them. A state championship their senior year. And then just setting the young guys up because, they felt like I felt like they looked up to me. And as an older brother, in a sense, somebody gave that to me. Arvell gave me that. Arvell gave me something to look up to. Bryce, my brother, they gave me something to look up to, something to chase, shoes to feel. And that's the best feeling in the world, to feel some shoes that is legendary. And I just feel like leaving those shoes for them to feel it just rose the bar. And that's all we get taught to do at Glenville, to raise the bar. Because when you raise the bar, the people that's underneath you are going to be better than you. And that's all you want them to be. You want every generation to come after you to just be great and great and great. So just leaving high school like that and get rivals and on 3 All-Americans, all that stuff it's amazing. And I'm just blessed.
If you're an Ohio State fan and you need to know, we got a real one. As
sure.
an Ohio State fan, And a lot of this mentality, I know, is going to transfer very well over to Ohio State with Ryan Day. Like, it's very, very similar, and it's a brotherhood. But all of that started with you guys being young kids, and I actually work with Demarion's dad at the radio station, Dale, and he talks about it all the time and how he's worked with Ted Ginn and that entire family. What, in your eyes, in your mind, what does Ted Ginn Sr. mean to you?
He means a lot, He in this show, and it's just so much deeper than that because he does so much for just so little return. When guys look at Coach Ginn, it's a quick story. I was in an Uber ride on the way to the airport. The Uber driver was talking so bad about Coach Ginn. My coach was in the car. He told me not to say nothing. So I didn't say nothing. I held my tongue. But people just talk so bad about Coach Ginn and so bad about the school, and it lights a fire underneath me because only if you knew the things that this man does and what he get back in return, only if you knew the things people slander his name about when none of it is true. Only if people knew the circumstances that we face and how we overcome it because of this man. And a lot of people don't realize that. So it's the things that Coach Ginn does for families, like adults, for kids, for organizations. It's just a lot. Like, he does a lot for the city of Cleveland, period. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they just slander his name. And you don't even know what you're talking about because you have an opinion that's not true. It's not true. And he just means so much to me because he not only did he change my life, he changed my family life. He done so much for me, my brother that's at University of UConn now. He transferred from Louisville. My other brother that's probably going to go to school for just regular education. My little brother that's going to high school next year. He didn't change so much for people that I've seen. Like, he's changed lives, and he's been doing that for 30 plus years. I mean, he's 70 something. He's been a coach since he was 30, I think.
Yeah.
And just think about all the legendary guys. Like, my coach Larry Knight, he told me he played with 12 Glenville guys. I said 12? That's crazy. But like, when people hear that, they don't think how legendary that is and how hard that is to have 12 guys from your school play together in 1 year. Like, we have a Heisman winner at Ohio State that came from Glenville, from underneath this man. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they just talk so bad about him, and you don't know that. Like, you don't know. Like, people don't know. And then it's just like, when you finally realize the things that he's done, it's like, wow. And like, I love him so much. I call him like Pops, Granddad. Like, because he not only does he want you to get better on the field, he wants you to be better in life. He want to be like, he taught me how to invest. Like, he taught me how, like, he really did taught me how to invest. How once you get money, how to do this, pay taxes. Like, about him and my father, they was on that. Like, he's just way more than just a coach. He's a legend in the community, and he's somebody I can really call granddad and say that I love.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, I know, Ryan. I know you have another question, but I as someone that covers high school football the way that I do, and I've loved the high school football scene for as long as I've been alive. Like, Cincere, I'll tell you just a little story. Like, I was that 5-year-old kid that was going to high school football games. I wasn't the kid that was running around and playing. Like, I was sitting there, I was watching, I was locked in, I was getting into it, and just. I don't know that I would have been able to hold my tongue like you did in that Uber if someone's talking. And I didn't, I wasn't coached by him. I don't know him personally, but I know Ted Ginn Sr. and someone wants to talk like that. I am so glad that you held your tongue, but I'm telling you right now, that's.
And I'll be honest with you. I was saying things like, he had said something like, he takes kids from other schools and this. I said, but how do you know? Did you have a kid go through Glenville? He said, no, but I said, so then why are you saying stuff like that and you don't even know? And my coach tapped me and he was just like, don't say nothing. So I was about to say something. He just said, don't say nothing. So I was like, son, I just put my headphones on and just went quiet.
Better than me, man. Better than me, Ryan.
But hey.
Yeah, I mean, indirectly, I mean, I guess Coach Ted Ginn made me fall in love with the game of football too. I mean, I fell in love by watching Ted Ginn Jr. play for the Buckeyes. He was really the first player that I was like, man, this is fun. I love football and I love watching him. And that's truly where I started watching football. I was watching him as a Buckeye on Saturday mornings. the Glenville pipeline. I mean, there's been 21 plus players since 2002. I mean, main names: Troy Smith, like you said, Heisman winner; Cardell Jones, Tekken Jr., Dante Whitner, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, Arvell Reese. Exactly. Yeah, it's insane. Lost my spot here. Sorry.
I mean, but you're right, Ryan. I mean, like the pipeline is just,
it's crazy.
It's just there, and it's in large part, if not all, to it's of course the kids putting in the work, like Cincere, and you can hear that work, like the passion that he has. But it's also it's Ted Ginn kind of giving them the tools to do that.
Yeah, and he gives the tools because he has the blueprint. He installs in us that you have so little, so you want so much, and you have to put in double times the work than the next guy to get what you're gonna get. Sure. So that's why when you look at a kid from the pipeline coming in here and they do big things, is because they're used to working hard. You come like you have to double the quantity. You have to double it. You have to double it because you don't have the quality.
Yeah. All right. So sorry about that. So this question is excluding Jameer Press because he's already coming with you to Ohio State. And a 6'4", 360 pounds, an incoming freshman defensive lineman. Thank goodness. I mean, he came to his senses and chose Ohio State over originally committing to Florida. I mean, but if you could bring one Glenville teammate with you to Ohio State, who would you pick and why?
And what do they have to be in the, like senior? Like they have to be in my class.
Pick a dude. It don't matter. Whoever you played with.
Class out the window. All of it. Like
Kaylon Bailey.
Kaylon Bailey. Okay, why so?
Kaylon Bailey because he can do it all. He played defensive end. He played. It's just so many though. Like the reason I say Kaylon Bailey though because his upside is amazing. I've played against Kaylon when I was young. And he's fast, he's physical, he's smart, he's explosive. And then you can go him. I can go CJ Newell. He's an ATH play running back, DB, aggressive. I can go a lot.
Yeah.
It's so many people that deserves a shout out here. That because I didn't seen him work hard with my own two eyes. So. But hey, Kaylon a year younger than me, so he might be here next year, So
that'd be nice. Keep that pipeline going.
Yeah.
Another former linebacker for Glenville that committed to Ohio State, named Arvell Reese, is projected at top 10 in the NFL draft, maybe top 5. Some are even saying top 2.
Should be.
How was watching his rise influence your own goals, and obviously that personal relationship as well?
I called it. I talked to Arvell during spring ball, and I was like, "You going to the league this year?" He looked at me. He was like, "Yeah."
I called it too, Kevin. Good night.
I called it. You did. I called it. I promised you we was in spring practice. I'm like, "You going to the league?" Like, yeah, I ain't gonna fake. I'm going to the league. Yeah. He was like, "This my year." I'm like, "This your year." But just seeing him work the way he has. Making so much improvement since we was in high school to college and him just doing the things that he needed to do, even when, people like Sonny Styles and, obviously he was waiting his turn and just seeing him continuously to work and to not transfer and to not jump the gun and really, really like do it the right way. It's amazing and it's beautiful. I told his mom, like, I'm proud of him, and I'm like, you've raised an amazing son, an amazing person, because not only is he a great football player, he's a great person, and our personal relationship is good because we both have the same goals, we both come from a similar background, and we both do things a certain type of way. We both attack the game a certain type of way, and me just seeing that shows me that the person that's similar to me can do it. I know I can do it, and he pushes me every step of the way and motivates me to achieve what he has achieved. And Arvell going top 3. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah. How big was he in your recruitment for Ohio State?
He was big, a lot. When I actually my OV, he was my host. Even before that, when he committed to Ohio State, he told me like next few years gonna be you coming to Ohio State. But one thing, Marvell, he never forced me. Like, he always told me the goods. He told me, the bads, the ups and downs, and how it is and what you're going to face. But one thing he always said, that this is the place, and this is a place for him, so he know this is a place for me. So it's just he was big. And when I seen him going through the process of, becoming a starter and working hard and they winning the national championship and how Coach Patricia came in and started to use him in practices, it was just beautiful. And there was no other place for me to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Speaking of that recruitment, and Cincere, we appreciate you taking this time. This is going to be the last. I would love to have you on again because there's so much more we can get into, but this is going to be the last one.
I got 20 more questions.
we have to save them, but you may have to become a true friend of this show right here, awesome. Cincere. But we're definitely going to be following you. But you talk about the recruitment and everything like that, and it is a different era in college athletics and college football, especially. We all know that there's the NIL, there's the transfer portals, there's all of that. So I don't know how much you can get into because I know a lot of that stuff want to hide it behind the curtain a little bit. But what was that recruitment process like for you? Like, how did you experience it in this era of college football? Because I've heard the stories of guys in the past and friends of mine that have gone to college athletics, but I know it's a lot different now.
It's a lot. You see a lot of guys go to schools or commit to schools for the wrong reasons, and that was never me. Me and my family always sat down and said that, you going for education and play football and going somewhere that's for you, that wants you, and a place that want to get developed, and that was Ohio State. So, that wasn't a deciding factor for me. I went to a university that's going to allow me to be the best me and push me along the way and, bring me a lot of opportunities along the way that's going to change my life forever. So that was kind of how my process went during, because I didn't have the mindset, my family didn't have the mindset that NIL. Like that wasn't what we thought. We thought about, is this the right choice? Is this what God is telling you to do? Pray about it, this and that. We wasn't saying, oh, choose the money over everything else. So that's kind of how my process went.
That's important too, I think. So
yeah, I think that's very important. Cincere, we can't thank you enough for joining us. I don't know if you hear this often or not, but I'm hoping to raise my toddler son who's just on the other side of this wall right here. Like, I'm hoping to raise him kind of like you, people like you, and those that go to Glenville and Arvell. Like just the amazing conversation we've had tonight, and the head on your shoulders is so great, and at such a young age. Keep going, and we look forward to following you. And truly, if possible, we would love to have you on again at some point down the road.
Oh, definitely. Sometime down the road, I'll get free again. We'll definitely hop on. And I just want to say thank you guys. What you guys are doing is amazing. Before I got on, I definitely watched, some of you guys, stuff. So this is amazing. This is beautiful. And I just want to say thank you for speaking about me in a good light. And, I'm just so thankful. And we're all in. Everybody in this call is blessed. So, just have a good year,
Yeah, that's absolutely. And you stay blessed as well. And absolutely love. You deserve the spotlight. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
You deserve the spotlight that you're getting, but you do it in the right way, and that's the most important thing. And like I said, we'll have you on again, and I'll make sure I get you on the station as well at ESPN Cleveland, because when we're getting ready for high school and stuff, definitely want to get your take on that before you guys really dig into to fall ball and get into the season. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
There he is. Yep, you too. Stay blessed as well. There he is. Man.
What a great conversation, bro. Holy moly. Like I said, I had 20 more questions, but it went amazing.
Dude, I have to be honest, like the tears were welling up. Like he's talking about being emotional, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm an emotion on the sleeve type of guy like that. And I mean, like I was like holding it back a little bit. Man, to hear, there's really no way to, shut down the show, drop the mic, all that type of stuff. But to hear that Ted Ginn has people that talk about him like that, Ted Ginn Sr., I'm telling you right now, I would not have been able to hold my tongue. And again, I didn't go to Glenville. I wasn't coached by him. I talked to him a little bit, but like I don't know him as directly, even like as my partner Dale does on High School Hysteria, and the way he's gone through things and had his son go through Glenville.
Yeah.
And like that's how much Ted Ginn means to me as someone here in Northeast Ohio, and true admiration and look up to a guy like Ted Ginn Sr. and listen to what he says when I get a chance to hear him talk. I would not have been able to hold my tongue. And Cincere did the right thing by doing that, and he's in that position where he needs to. But boy, oh boy, man.
I mean, there's going to be haters everywhere, but that man is widely respected and is truly a pioneer of Northeast Ohio, of Columbus, and in the NFL. He's got his fingers in all the football pot, man. So, I mean, it is what it is. His accolades speak for himself.
And I think most important, he's got his fingerprint, like in base. I think mostly every profession out there, because I loved when Cincere said, "We call it my village."
Yep, truly.
And I've heard people say that at Glenville as well. Like it's their village. Like I love that. It's your community. It's the people around you. More than just blood. People around you feel like it's not just blood relatives. It's like everybody feels like family, and I think that's important, and to have people that are pushing him and telling him the right thing and all of that kind of stuff. I love that, and that's what Ted Ginn Sr. has created a village, and it's not just the guys that go to Ohio State or college football and the NFL. In terms of it's student athletics for a reason. He's a great person and a great mentor to these people to become the best of themselves, no matter what direction that takes them. So I would, he's one of the many. Like there was Chuck Kyle at Ignatius. There's Tom Lombardo now at St. Ed's. There's Tiger Laverty at Kirtland. Like there is a lot of examples of that. I think Coach Creel as well has gone around to Euclid and Lorraine and like similar type of thing. Max Stevens, he's another name. Even in the basketball ranks, man, why am I blanking on his names? But he coaches at Brush, and I know he was a former NBA player, but I actually called some of the games that hit the tournament that they created, where they had like LaMelo Ball came in with Spire and all of that. Why am I blanking on his name? Oh my goodness! Like
Chet Mason.
Yes, Chet Mason. Like he is another one of those types of guys that's kind of following that suit. But yeah, Ted Ginn. If you got anything against him, we have nothing to say to each other.
There's a saying, we don't make football players, we create leaders of men. And I feel like that's what he's doing. I mean, when Cincere said, he taught me how to manage my money, especially in the world of NIL. Cincere Johnson's a top defensive player in the country. Yeah. We don't need to get into NIL necessarily, but he had a pretty decent projected bag, a queen bag or coin purse that he was worth just in high school, let alone college. So, the fact that he's not focusing on that, but in the world of college football nowadays, where it is all about money, it's nice to be able to learn from the man you trust the most. He called him Grandpa for a reason, Grants for a reason. I mean, forget the haters. Who cares about an Uber driver? The fact of the matter is, this man is just not only changing the game of football, but he's changing young men's lives in a part of maybe the United States that definitely need it. He's helping a lot of young men. He might be that father figure for a lot of young men who don't have that father figure, that grandfather figure, that mentor. It doesn't matter. The fact that, like I said, there's haters everywhere, but this man, he's solely responsible for me becoming a football fan because of, he created his son and coached his son, and his son is a legendary Buckeye, and I don't get it personally. I would never speak ill.
I don't either. But man, what a great head on the shoulders of Cincere Johnson again. Great conversation. We definitely need to have him on again to dig in deeper. I didn't actually know that. I hadn't seen anything that said that he was one of the early enrollees, but it's good to hear he's already on campus. Yeah, we were talking to him about awards. I think this is the last thing that people should take away. What's one of the awards? What was the first award he said he wanted to win when he's down there at Ohio State? Academic All-American. Yeah, like he mentioned academic All-American, not just All-American because he's great on the field and all that kind of stuff. Academic that's what's going to take him to the levels that he wants to get to, and he is in the right place, and we're rooting for him beyond just being Ohio State, like deep rooted. They call me a Buckeye boy at the station. Like you got the Ohio State stuff on all the time. We're always talking Ohio State, Ryan. Yeah. Like Scarlet and Gray is in our blood. Like outside of beyond the fandom, you root for a person like that to have success, and that's. So
it doesn't hurt that he's so dominant on the field too. I mean, his senior year, 134 tackles, 25.5 tackles for a loss, and 9.5 sacks.
I mean, he had a game where he had like 25 tackles.
In his career,
Yeah.
326 tackles, 15 and a half sacks, and 65 tackle for a loss, 15 forced fumbles. Dude's a hammer. Like,
Yes.
we are so lucky he's going to be – I mean, there's a lot on his shoulders. Yes, he does have a good head on his shoulders, but there is a lot on his shoulders coming from Glenville, where Arville Reese came. And then Arville Reese has had the success, and now the hype. And they are incredibly similar on the way they play the game. They are very similar. He is an Arville Reese type of player. So, I mean, there are expectations, and I'm excited for, this young man to just face those expectations. And like you said, he created his own legacy, his own name in Glenville, and I'm excited for this dude to do the same thing in Columbus.
But he said he wants to try to, he wants to start or play as a freshman and all those types of things. But he also has the understanding of what Arville went through. Like, Arville really started to make a name for himself the season of the national championship as a sophomore. And then we knew because
I called it.
but in the press box at the Texas game, when I was down there in Columbus, I heard people rumbling, who's number 8? Like, oh my gosh, number 8. They weren't even saying his name. And I was like, Arville Reese. You're not allowed to yell in the press box. And in my head, I'm like, Arville Reese. Like, that's the type of he understands that could be a part of the journey as well. So he's willing to work hard to get the immediate, but also sustain for the long haul as well. Yeah. Well, Ryan, I know we went well over. I am so sorry. I'm sorry I'm sorry to your family, your wife to take it over, but like that, I just couldn't stop it.
I would have went 2 more hours if we could.
Yes. Yeah. So appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate Cincere. Appreciate my wife who was able to connect us with his family. To get that interview tonight. We'll definitely be talking to him again, and the tears are still kind of wanting to push their way out. It was that kind of good deep emotion.
Might be one of the best shows of 2026 already, man. We'll see. We got a lot more coming up this year, but this was a great one to top. So
yes, yeah. So, but let's keep the climb going. Don't want to slide down the hill this early. Just yet. But for Ryan Mosser, thanks to our partners with Green Sports Cards. Reach out to them, greensportscards.com. Thank you to Peter Tellup and LPV Productions, helping us getting off the ground and just being there for us at all times. And thank you to all of you that tune in. I am Kevin O, reminding all of you, it's not, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all 3,000. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Go Buckeyes. That was fun.
Live life. All gas, no brakes. We will see you next time right here on the Voice of the Land.